Terapeak is an eBay research tool, and if it doesn't tell you much, it is a tool that helps you sell products more profitable, easily discover top-selling products, uncover your competitors' best-selling strategies, determine how much an item is worth, and how well it will sell. Let's take a closer look at each of these strategies and see how to use Terapeak to maximize your profits. There are several ways to find top-selling products using Terapeak. If you have general idea of what products you want to sell or have access to, let's say you found a supplier with great prices on home improvement equipment and furniture, and want to know should you sell CD and video racks or heating and cooling equipment, one of the ways is to check Terapeak Category Research tab and see how well your category is doing in terms of sales. From category research, I can see that heating, cooling, and air have relatively high volume of sales, and CD and video racks is category with relatively low volume of sales. If I drill down further, I can take a look at category trend over the last 90 days. I can see that CD and video racks category is doing on average about $15K a week in sales, and heating and cooling and air is doing on average about $2 million a week in sales. Now that I know that there are more buyers shopping in heating, cooling, and air category, I can drill down to exact brand and models that are selling the best in this category by switching to Best Selling Titles tab. Another option to uncover top-selling products is by using hot research. If you don't have particular category for selling in mind and you don't feel like researching different brands and models, you can get ideas for profitable products to sell from Terapeak Hot Research model. Hot categories is a good way to identify categories which have recently experienced a significant rise in demand, which means that people are actively spending money there right now. By browsing through hot categories lists, it is easy to discover highly profitable niches with very little competition. As you can see, programmable thermostats is listed as very hot category with a high success rate, which means that majority of listings in this category are successful. If we go look at the sales trend for this category, we can see that weekly sales are about 60K during winter season. And by researching top sellers, we can see that there are about 30 sellers that are selling on a regular basis right now. By finding categories with a relatively high volume of sales and low number of sellers, you're uncovering potential lucrative niches where you can claim good piece of a pie with the right selling strategy. This translates into money-making opportunity when our research shows us that demand is high while supply is low. Hot Products tab lists groups of similar listings which have been selling at a high success rate recently. It is another way to discover hot selling products, but when looking at hot products list, I would suggest narrow your search down to category, because if you search across all categories, products that are listed at the top are hard to find at a wholesale price. As you can see, items listed at the top are mostly consumer electronics and computers. But if you drill down to a less competitive category, it is much easier to find dropshipper or wholesaler that will be glad to supply you with products to sell. Hot Titles tab lists the products that have been sold most successfully on the eBay marketplace within selected period. Again, it makes sense to drill down to a less competitive category because it's easier to find a wholesale supplier for those products. It is much easier and lucrative to follow a lead of success than to invent failure. Terapeak makes it easy to research and reverse engineer sales strategy of the most successful sellers in any niche or category. By researching top sellers in your category, you could easily discover most profitable products to sell or find ideas for new products to sell that you haven't thought of before. Now instead of blindly buying a truckload of random stuff, you know exactly which products are going to bring you profit. Right now we are looking at the top sellers for patio and garden furniture sets category. Researching a particular seller, you have three options. Research items for this seller from this category. This option is good for observing their overall sales strategy in particular category. Research all items for this seller, good for discovering new products to sell. Research this seller top titles. Grab their most successful titles. They have done all the hard work for you of testing the marketplace for you. Now you can pick the most profitable ones. Top sellers report give you a lot of insight on what to sell, when and how. You can piggyback off their hard work and simply model their winning strategy. If you see a seller in your category who is clearly doing much better than the rest, research, model, and improve their sales strategy as they obviously doing something right. By researching top sellers in your category, you can also measure potential competition and estimate your chances to compete. It might be easy to take the top seller spot in the category if all you have to compete with is a couple of casual sellers, and it might be not so easy if you have to deal with a bunch of competitors selling hundreds of thousands worth of inventory. Aside from researching brand new profitable products to sell, Terapic is also great for determining true value of an item, like collectibles, art, and vintage items. Let's say you find one of them old comic books in your garage, like this one, and you have no idea how much it may worth. You might list it on eBay and be happy to sell it for $50 or $100, but if you would go to Terapic and type in Auction Comics Issue 1, 1938, you can see that the average price is $13.95, and one that you have recently sold for $1,600. So if you sold it for $50 without research, you just missed a fortune. Significant part of sales on eBay are coming from used, vintage, and collectible items. So you have things in your garage or closet that you no longer need, determine their value using Terapic, and then sell them on eBay. One man's trash, another man's treasure is especially true for eBay. If you want to sell profitably, you need a market research because you need to be in control of your eBay auctions. You need to know how much profit you can make from a product before you sell it, how to be better than your competitor, how to make more money from every listing. And this is what Terapic is all about. This eBay market research tool will help you to develop solid sales strategy, discover product trends, top sellers you have to compete with, hot products and categories, and at the end of the day will help you to make more money on every listing.